Alright, hello everybody, my name is Kirby Clover, and today's theory is going to be on the Holiday family, and the fact I think they are cursed by the narrative. This is a theory and also a bit of an analysis of each of the characters from the Holiday family. So, a bit of a different episode than usual, but other than that, if you guys don't mind, please subscribe. Also, thank you for all the support of my last video. The fact we managed to get to 500 in between this episode and last episode is insane. And my next goal is I want to try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer holiday. Whether this is possible, I do not know. But again, just thank you for all the support. And also, for anyone interested, I will be going live later today at 3:50 PM, playing through Kindergarten 3, also answering a few questions that anyone has in chat. So, I hope to see you then. Alright, first of all, I want to quickly just go over each of the family members and who they are. First, you have Noelle. Noelle is the youngest member of the family and one of Chris's classmates. Noelle clearly has a lot of trauma from her past, likely linking to her sister Des, and she's been shown to black out any traumatic moments or events as a coping mechanism. Des is the older sister of Noelle, and she's been missing for a while by the time we play. And we have a lot of evidence of what happened to her, but there's a few line of dialogues that could hint at what might have happened. Then you have Carol, who is their mother, and we have a very small inclusion of her in Chapter 4, but from what we see, she's very overprotective and quite cold to Noelle. And she does not like Susie, as she does not want her in the house, but does appear to be at the very least working with the Soul or Chris. Finally, there's Rudy. Rudy's the more caring / relaxed parent, but unfortunately, as of Deltarune, he seems very sick for an unknown reason and is bedridden. Okay, so the first thing with Noelle I want to go over is the fact that she most likely is not an angel. This was probably one of the most popular theories about the angel before Chapter 3 and 4, and one I believed in all the way up until recently. There were a lot of connection to her being the angel in Chapter 2, with her wanting angel wings and being called Angel by Spamton. But after the context in Chapter 4, where we see a lot of times of the player taking control of her angel doll, and also the prophecy of the angel being carved up by a black screen, which reflects our own reflection, implying that the angel is us, would mean that the player is the angel. Also, the Spamton Weird Root line recontextualizes as Spamton talking directly to us rather than to Noelle. But now that we know that the player is the angel instead of Noelle, it does mean that the Weird Root is going down a way where Noelle is going to become controlled by the angel or us, which could explain why Noelle had so many interests in the angel themes. And the idea that Noelle is going to be controlled by the angel could mean that Noelle is still the one to create the angel's heaven, just for us instead. Also, other than that, Noelle was most likely one of the two girls mentioned in the prophecy. In the prophecy, we learn about a girl who has hope crossed on her heart, and a girl who will find love. Based on the order we find them in the game, most people would assume that these are the same girl. But based on the fact that Susie's prophecy seems to be in a weird backwards order, it could be likely that instead of it being the same girl, it's two different girls. And one of them would be Susie, and the other one would be Noelle. And also based on the fact that Rousey says that the girl hero should be able to wear a ribbon, it could imply that Noelle is actually supposed to be the hero rather than Susie. And it does make sense since Susie seems to be able to change the prophecy in some way, with her always doing options against the angel's will. Which is also explaining why when Susie breaks the final prophecy, it doesn't repair itself, because Susie might have actually broken that ending. The knight has been very clearly shown to be one of the Holiday family members due to their use of snow magic and also reindeer antlers. And while the two main candidates are Des Holiday and Carol Holiday, I do think it is Des, and I'll go for why. The reasons for Des is the knight starts out during the battle as a baseball/wiffle bat. The knight becomes a baseball when dodging, and Des has been shown to be related to wiffle bats and baseball. The knight has reindeer antlers, that goes for both. The knight and Chris to be friendly or in a truce, which the Des and Chris were friends when Chris was younger. And also the song that plays during the fight contains elements of both Asriel's and Flowey's themes, and also Lost Girl. It's very clear that Asriel and Des were close when Des was alive, or around, and also Lost Girl is very clearly referring to Des as it's connected to Noelle. There are a couple pieces of evidence for Carol, that being Carol is likely the one on the phone to Chris. The weapon looks similar to a katana during the fight, and the knight has reindeer antlers, which again goes for both of them. But I do think there are evidence against these things. The phone call does not have to be the knight. Well, I do think it is Carol. It's vague enough and cut off enough where we don't know if what they're saying is for the knight or against the knight. The katana still is a bat, but just morphed. The reason I say this is because you look at the design, it still has the base of the bat. It's just that the bat itself has become a katana. Also, Des has pictures of swords and other stuff in her bedroom. Also, the idea of a weapon being able to morph is quite a known thing in this universe, where Chris's sword becomes a shield at times. And also, the knight's weapon is referred to as a katana, bat, sword, and knife at different times. And the final reason is that Carol's working with Undyne, which wouldn't make sense if she went and kidnapped Undyne at the end of chapter 3. So I think what this means is that Des has Phil's role in the prophecy as the knight. As for Carol, I think Carol is the person on the phone. Carol is trying to stop the knight, with the lines we hear from the phone call being cut off, avoiding the important parts. Stuff like them saying no soul means they can't do something in the dark world. It very much so implies that Carol, or whoever's on the phone, wants Chris to have their soul in them so that they are able to seal the fountains and titans. If she wants this, then her goals are the opposite of the knight's, as the knight is the one creating the fountains and the titans, but also she would need a deep understanding of the prophecy. She might be trying to stop the prophecy from happening. This is why she's keeping Susie away from finding the code, and also away from Noelle, as both of these things might cause them to get closer to like the prophecy and revealing the truth of the prophecy. Next up, just a curse. I know I didn't give one on Rudy specifically, but that's because I think Rudy's going to be the catalyst for all the events. Because all of the other three are tied up in the prophecy. Whether one of them is trying to stop the prophecy, whether one of them is one of the heroes of the prophecy, or one of them is the villain of the prophecy. Each of them are a part of the prophecy and important in some way, but all of their roles haven't been fully realised yet by them. I think this is where Rudy comes in. I think Rudy has been cast to die, and when Rudy dies, this will be the catalyst for the other family members to go even deeper into the prophecy. This will cause them to lose their freedom, which is a big theme throughout all of Deltarune. And they'll be start following their set path. I think this could be avoided in a weird route, but the main idea is that Rudy is the one who tries to get Susie and Noelle to go to the festival together. Rudy is the one who is keeping Noelle calm. Rudy's death might also cause Carol to spiral further, as it seems like Des' disappearance is what caused them to become so cold in the first place. So I think all of the Holiday family have been cursed by the narrative to all go over into tragedies over and over and lose more and more of their freedom, even though they're trying to fight it more and more. But again, this was a bit more of an analysis than a theory, But I still think this idea of Rudy dying, causing Noelle, Carol, and maybe even Destiny to rather lose what humanity they have. But let me know what you think in the comments. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will try to get the other theory I have working on out soon, and I will try to go back to either a Friday or Saturday release schedule, as recently it's been a bit messy as the computer's been on a fritz recently. So, I hope to see you then.